Nelson. Hey guys, it's Miss Nelson, and today you guys are going to be taking notes over solving one-step equation and inequalities. So like we did yesterday when we did models, remember that in order to solve one-step equations and inequalities, you do the opposite operation. And then remember, when we're dealing with inequalities, we have that special rule when we're multiplying or dividing by a negative number that says we have to flip our inequality symbol. So if we take our first example, x plus 7 equals 2, okay, I'm going to write that into our box to help us solve. Now, in order to zero out that 7, this goes back to our integers that we did a little bit ago where we're talking about 0 pairs. So because it is saying a plus 7, I'm going to subtract to get the x by itself. I'm going to zero out that 7 by subtracting 7. Remember, we do it on both sides of the equal sign. So that will 0 pair out my 7 and negative 7, leaving me with an x. And then you have to know your integer rules of 2 minus 7, which is going to give you a negative 5. So x in this case equals negative 5. Example 2, now we have an inequality. So when I write it in my box, w minus 3, over the equal signs, I'm just going to write my inequality symbols. Okay, and I'm going to leave the last one blank to make sure we don't have to flip it. Let me put my negative 5 on the other side. So if I have a w minus 3, the opposite of subtraction is going to be addition, so I circle my A. So I'm going to add 3 to each side. That leaves me with a w. Now, because I did not multiply or divide by a negative, my inequality symbol remains the same. And now I come to the right side and do negative 5 plus 3, which leaves me with a negative 2. So w is greater than negative 2 in this case. Our third example, 5d equals 30. So because the 5 and the d are being multiplied, and remember I know that because they are squished together, I'm going to divide to get the d by itself. You always divide by whatever number is connected to it. Doesn't matter if it's a fraction, decimal, whatever. So that will come and leave me with 1d, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. So d equals 6 for this equation. Okay, our last example, we're going to write it s divided by negative 2 is less than 6. I'm going to go ahead and copy down the less than for the second one, but we're going to leave the third one blank just in case we need to fix it. So now I have a fraction, which means that I'm dividing, especially since that negative 2 is in the denominator. So I am going to multiply to get this to go to a 1s. So I'm going to rewrite my s divided by 2. I'm going to rewrite my 6. Here's where the multiplication comes in. I'm going to multiply my left side by a negative 2 because I want my negative 2's to cancel out and leave me with an s. So if I do it to the left side, I also have to multiply this side by negative 2 and get a negative 12. Now, this is when that rule applies. Because I had to multiply by a negative number, my inequality symbol turns around and faces the other way. So my solution is s is greater than negative 12. Okay, so make sure if you have any questions, you come prepared and ready to ask them, and we'll be practicing the next class that we have together. Have a good day.